Dear students and my teacher friends, Namaskar. I welcome you to the presentation lecture on parathyroid hormone. Now, the chief cell, also known as principal cell of parathyroid gland, they secrete the peptide hormone, and this peptide hormone is parathyroid hormone, in short PTH. That means PTH is a protein hormone. And this hormone is the major factor in maintaining the blood calcium ion concentration in our body. Now, in which circumstances, in which condition this PTH is secreted from the parathyroid gland? So, when in the blood the concentration of calcium ion is declining, that time PTH is secreted, and decline in calcium ion concentration in blood, that condition is known as hypocalcemia. So during hypocalcemia, this PTH is secreted by chief cell. Now, what are the action of this PTH hormone, and how this PTH hormone is bringing the calcium level back to the normal in our blood? Okay, so let's find out that. First thing, first action, or the first way that the PTH is increasing the calcium ion level in blood is by stimulating the osteoclast cell. Now, first, when PTH is secreted, it induces changes in osteoblast cell. We know the osteoblast cell are the bone forming cell, okay, and this PTH is induces changes in the osteoblast. So once the osteoblast, some changes are occurring in osteoblast, then these changes are inducing the osteoclast cell. And we know the osteoclast cell are the bone breaking or bone destroying cell. And when we say this osteoclasts are bone destroying or bone breaking cell, that means that the PTH is acting on osteoclast, and osteoclasts, they are breaking the extra cellular matrix of bone, and from this broken extracellular matrix of bone, calcium ions are released in the blood. So from the bone, these calcium ions are entering in the blood, and this is how the calcium ion concentration is elevated by PTH. Okay, so this is one way that PTH is acting on osteoclasts. Osteoclasts are breaking the bones extracellular matrix, and from that the calcium ions are entering in the blood, and this is how the PTH is responsible for elevating the calcium ion level. Okay, then the second method, or the second route by which the PTH is increasing calcium ion concentration in blood, is that it is inducing or it is affecting the small intestine to absorb dietary calcium ion. Dietary means the calcium ion which are present in our food. So from the food, small intestine is absorbing calcium ion due to the effect of PTH. Now, what is the mechanism? Why the small intestine is absorbing more calcium ion? In which circumstances? So first of all, the effect of PTH on small intestine is not a direct one, it is actually a indirect effect. Okay, and the PTH, when affecting the small intestine, first of all, the formation of vitamin D take place. So vitamin D, we obtain vitamin D from two sources. One source is from our food, and the second source, that vitamin D is produced, vitamin D is synthesized in the skin. So in the skin cell, under certain wavelength of ultraviolet light, vitamin D is synthesized. However, the vitamin D which is synthesized in the skin is in inactive form. Okay, so this vitamin D via blood reaches to the kidney, and in the kidney, this PTH act on this inactive form of vitamin D and converts inactive vitamin D into its active form. So the active form of vitamin D is known as vitamin D3 or calcitriol. Okay, and in this form, this activated form, vitamin D3 affect the small intestine cell. Okay, so the cell of the small intestine, now they are absorbing the calcium ion from the food. So there is a whole mechanism is there, but keeping in mind the depth of your syllabus, we are not studying that mechanism. But here we are remembering that the vitamin D3 is inducing small intestine cell to absorb more calcium ion, and we now know that vitamin D3, active form of vitamin D, is formed due to the action of PTH on inactive vitamin D. Okay, so this is the second method. And third method by which this PTH hormone is increasing calcium ion concentration. So third mechanism, see, increasing reabsorption of calcium ion from the fluid in the kidney. Okay, now what is this? So you can read this entire thing uh, in the figure. I am explaining this point. Okay, what they are saying, how the PTH is affecting the kidney. See, this is our urinary system, and in the urinary system, this one is the left kidney, this one is the right kidney. Okay, then ureter is shown left and right. So we know that in the kidney urine formation takes place. That urine enters into right and left ureter, and this, both the ureters, they are pouring the urine in the urinary bladder. So when urinary bladder is completely filled with the urine, we are urinating. Okay, so we are expelling the urine from our body out. Now this is the structure of kidney. Okay, and in the structure of kidney, there are lakhs of nephrons are present. So these nephrons are the unit which are forming the urine, and their number, so they are present in lakhs of number in each kidney. Okay, so the urine forming unit is the nephron. Now in the, so here in this figure also, now this is the one complete nephron is shown in this figure. Okay, and in the structure of nephron, this initial part, okay, this part is the glomerular capsule, also known as Bowman capsule, and the remaining part This all, the entire part is the renal tubule, and renal tubule opens into the collecting duct. Now in nephron, what is happening, that from the artery, the branch of artery that is known as afferent arteriole is entering, okay, and you see the diameter of afferent arteriole. Then from this afferent arteriole, many small capillaries are arising, okay, originating, and this network of capillary is known as glomerulus. These capillaries join together and they open into afferent arteriole. So there is a huge difference when we compare the diameter of afferent arteriole capillary and the efferent arteriole. So as the capillary network or the glomerular capillary, they are having very lesser diameter, they are very thinner one, so the blood pressure is very high, and due to this high blood pressure from the blood, some components come out. So the component from the blood which are coming out, those components are water, okay, then glucose, then amino acid, protein, Ca twice plus, Na plus, K plus, Cl minus, Mg, Mg twice plus, urea, uric acid, okay. All this are coming out from the blood. So you remember these things, and all this component together, they are known as filtrate, okay. So as you can see in the filtrate, there are some vital ions are there, okay. Glucose is also important and protein is important. So this component, if they are discharged as it is, if they are moving as it is, so finally ultimately they are going to reach, they are going to enter into collecting duct, and where collecting ducts are opening, so collecting duct will, the filtrate will be over here, then filtrate will be in the ureter, then from the ureter the filtrate will be, ultimately it will be in the urinary bladder, and when we urinate, then what will happen, in our urine there will be glucose, amino acid, urea, uric acid, creatinine, Na plus, Cl minus, Mg twice plus, Ca twice plus. All of this vital components we are losing, okay. So that's why the reabsorption process is very important, and by reabsorption, this important components from the filtrate, they are absorbed, okay. So that process, reabsorption process, once again we are looking at this. So here now you can understand the yellow color is the renal tubule, and this tiny one are the blood capillary. So in the blood capillary, blood, there is PTH, okay, and in the renal tubule there is filtrate. So this PTH act on the cell of the renal tubule. So renal tubule cell, they absorb Ca twice plus, and this Ca twice plus enter into the blood of the capillary. So this is how the Ca twice plus, they are reabsorbed by the kidney, and that's why we are not throwing this Ca twice plus in our urine, because we have already reabsorbed it, and it was possible the reabsorption of Ca twice plus by this PTH hormone, okay. So this is the meaning of this point. This point is written over here and I have explained this point. Okay, you can read this point, tubular reabsorption. Okay, now here one concept map. This is in the center. This is the normal range is shown. Okay, normal condition, homeostatic range. Now in this homeostatic range, what is happening in the blood? CO2 level is normal. Okay, now here you see, here in this condition, the blood Ca twice plus level is decreasing below the normal range. So this is the stimulus. Stimulus for what? For PTH secretion. So now the receptors, okay, now at receptor level what is happening? See, cheap cell in the parathyroid gland, they are detecting that in the blood there is a low level of Ca twice plus. Okay, so when the calcium level goes down, it is detected by the cheap cell. Now what happens in the control center? What is happening? Cheap cell, they are increasing the parathyroid hormone secretion. Cheap cell secreting PTH. So here cheap cell are shown, and here in the figure you can see they are secreting PTH. Now the PTH is entering in the blood capillary. Then now what happens? See, this PTH affect the bone. So osteoclast cell, they start resorption of bone. That means breaking down of bone. Okay, breakdown of bone's extracellular matrix, and from the bone Ca twice plus enter into blood. So calcium level is elevated. Second method that we have studied, okay, PTH act on kidney, okay, and Ca twice plus reabsorb, okay, from the filtrate. Okay, kidney absorbing more Ca twice plus. Then third method, so in our skin and from food, inactive vitamin D, okay, is formed, and in the kidney it is converted into active form vitamin D3 by PTH, and this active form is known as calcitriol. So calcitriol, due to the effect of calcitriol, active vitamin D3, small intestine is absorbing more calcium ion from our food. Okay, and this calcium ion from the small intestine, they enter into the blood. So now, by this three mechanism, the calcium ion concentration is increasing in the blood. Okay, then so I am showing you the entire concept map this way. Now one more concept map I am showing you. For example, hypocalcemia, low blood Ca twice plus. Okay, then this in this situation, from parathyroid gland PTH releases. Okay, now PTH affecting the kidney. So kidney reabsorbs Ca twice plus from renal tubule. Okay, then second thing, inactive vitamin D converted into active vitamin D3. Active vitamin D3 act on or help the small intestine to absorb more Ca twice plus from the food. Then third mechanism, PTH act on osteoclast cell. Osteoclast breaks the bone extracellular matrix. Ca twice plus and PO4 thrice minus are released in the blood. So this is how the Ca twice plus level in the blood is increased. Okay, initial stimulus, physiological response, result. So okay. So with this we have completed this presentation lecture on parathyroid hormone. Okay, I hope you have enjoyed this presentation lecture, and I also hope that this presentation lecture will be helpful in your exam preparation and also in your studies. My name is Manish Koshti sir. I am from Ahmedabad, India. Bye bye. Namaste.